We need you, Nikki, right now to lead our nation. We need you, Nikki, no doubt. Hear the conversation.
Hello and welcome to They're Not Sending Their Best, Bite-Sized Bastards Edition. We're calling it that because there's not enough on Nikki Haley to really do a full episode because she sucks, has dropped out of the presidential race, and will not be a threat again until 2028 when we will probably do something longer on her then. So we're just going to basically run through all of the shitty things she's said and done really fast because there's technically not a lot, but it's enough to classify her as not their best. I'm Tim Phillippe, by the way, and with me, as always, is Andrew Turner. Andrew, would you have voted for Nikki if she had been around still or no?
I'm a Haley head.
You're a Haley head?
We need you, Nikki, right now. I don't know if we played it as an intro, but...
Oh, it won't be in the intro. Oh, maybe...
Nikki right now.
You know what? It is in the intro. So there, I've decided. I hadn't decided. It was just going to be our normal clown music. But yeah, thank you. So cool. Hope you enjoyed the We Need You, Nikki right now, written by some billionaire donor of hers. That's not a joke. And as heard on Colbert, as the video says on YouTube where I pulled that clip. We need you, Nikki, right now, as heard on Colbert. Like, wow, gotta brag. So using Colbert's name is even more popular than Nikki Haley's name. That's why we're doing this, because a talk show host is more popular than a presidential candidate. So,
I mean, I'm sure that's been the case always.
Oh,
to be honest with you.
I mean, more people know Stephen Colbert's name than they do Nikki Haley. I guarantee it.
Certainly he's more popular.
Yeah, 100%.
Pretty much.
Yeah, probably more electable even. But
yeah, I'd agree.
Despite, I think he actually ran for Senate in whichever Carolina he's from, but he ran for it. I'm wondering if she was governor as a joke. Yeah, but I'm wondering if he actually was running against her or anything. That would have been hilarious. Who knows? She's not worth researching. If you wanted actually an in-depth podcast episode on her, go listen to the Almost Presidents podcast. We have the link to their episode in the description. They do more than we're going to do here because they care more and they are smarter than we are. But we just straight up hate Nikki Haley. And next week we're going to do someone whose leaps and bounds even worse. So that's why we're doing this.
Tim putting the self-deprecation on the record, apparently.
Yeah.
I am.
They're teachers. That's why they're smart.
I've taught people the ways of love.
Sure. They teach humans to be better humans.
Yeah. They certainly are more professional than us. I will garner than that.
They read all of Ron DeSantis's book, like to prep for their show.
I'm not going to do that.
They read all of Ron DeSantis's book, toyed with buying it. I think one of them said they bought it used when I was talking to him. Like we didn't want to give him our money.
No, don't get me wrong. Yeah, if you want an in-depth look at kind of almost all the candidates that try to be president that will never be president. Couldn't recommend a higher podcast. Couldn't recommend better hosts.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing cast. Check it out if you want to learn more about Nikki Haley.
But
I'm sure there is enough for us to do a long form episode.
Maybe.
But as Tim and I sat down and looked at our script, our outline, and like started talking about it, we went like, why?
Yeah, we literally were like should we even do this?
Yeah,
seems
if
pointless.
If you like listening or watching, like I hope I'm playing in the background as you make dinner, or you're jogging or whatever, like because this is gonna be short and sweet, but like it's because Nikki Haley is a neocon of the Bush era. Like she is pretty much a much better spoken Sarah Palin with her policies. And she is a fossil of the Republican Party. And she was the establishment's last hope to try to stop Trump through their own primary means. And she never had a chance because the party has been converted into a cult.
She had so much money
until Donald Trump dies, if not years after he dies.
She had so much money backing her. Like they like I said, a billionaire backer wrote her a song that he, I think, plagiarized from a more popular song. Like we need, like the tune is there to some other song that I will definitely get. YouTube will definitely take us down if I sing that song, but it doesn't matter. So, all right. aside from the fact that if you are a Haley head, or if you are just a political nerd, or you know what, if you don't know, you know that maybe Nikki Haley said that the Civil War was not over slavery. That's one obvious big dumb that she had, and then even tried to go on Saturday Night Live and like make her appear a bit better by saying, "Yeah, I probably should have said that from the beginning." I'm like, no,
Well, even
not
Donald
probably.
Trump was
You
like,
should have.
Even Donald Trump was like, "It's one word, Nikki,
Slavery.
Like
When Donald Trump gets it right, you've got it wrong. Like,
well, no, it's because
you get it
Nikki
wrong.
Haley is not as good as a politician as Donald Trump. I didn't say as good as a person or as effective.
Yeah.
I'm saying like good at interpreting like the pulse of the base in the country, right? Saying that the Civil War is not about slavery when you're in North Carolina,
Oh my
maybe
God.
very important
Wasn't it
to
the
win the
first state
Republican
to
base.
secede, right?
Don't get me
too?
wrong.
Like,
I don't. I look. The only thing I need to know about the Confederate War that actually has to deal with the Confederates is that Sherman didn't burn enough.
yeah.
And I say that as a Southern man. He should have fucking. They should have arrested
burnt their
every one of the
establishment to the
treasonous
ground,
people and taken away every bit of their property, and they should have executed Lee and Jefferson and all of them for being traitors.
Exactly.
On DC Square.
And that's
But,
what Nikki Haley should have said. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, you couldn't say that as a Republican. I get that, and I understand that. But like,
what a lot of
she was
Democrats.
playing. She's not as good as a politician. She was playing local politics. She was playing the
Yeah.
playbook she had to play when she was running for governor and a local congresswoman and that kind of thing. When the truth is the vast majority of Republicans do not. It's not that they won't if it becomes a culture war issue, just like they will with anything that Fox News decide they have an opinion on. But they don't care about the Confederacy. Southern Republicans do, like Southerners in a lot of countries, in a lot of counties, and especially in the backwoods, Klansman territory.
Yeah, it's
some
gonna rise
downtowns.
again or something like that.
Yeah. But even being like native Texans, the both of us, like the vast majority of people I grew up with did not care about the Confederacy.
No.
Like they would.
I would say I did
or
grow up
even
with a
had
lot of
Southern
people who
pride.
did, and that's a different kind of episode because there's kids carrying the Confederate flag in their pockets all the time.
Yeah,
it was
but a lot
weird.
of that's just being like antagonistic,
Rebel
rebellious
flag.
kids.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a lot of that because there were kids that I knew, sure, that like their dads were rednecks and they mudded and they had a Confederate flag, who now wouldn't be caught dead.
Yeah.
With a
sure.
Confederate flag near them in their programming job.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of that is a little bit of bullshit. I don't think there's a lot of people who actually give a shit about the Confederacy.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a third out of every conservative in the South actually gives a shit about propagating that propaganda, and that is enough to lose a primary in a state. Like I that is true.
Yeah.
But
And she did.
the rest of the country looks at you when you say the Civil War was about states' rights. States' rights to what?
States' rights.
States' rights to do what?
Oh my God.
Because the South argued against states' rights whenever New York passed laws that they didn't have to return slaves that
Yeah.
escaped. They said, "Oh, that's unacceptable. We need to have a national law that says property's property." Because they were using states' rights to their advantage to be able to continue to enslave people based off their ethnicity and treat them as third-class citizens. So
we shouldn't have to
it's
tell you
three-fourths-
about this.
three-fifths of a citizen.
in 2024.
But and multiple of the states, when they wrote their constitutions and their charters to leave the Union, cited slavery as the reason.
Yeah.
Jefferson Davis cited slavery. The vice president of the Confederacy cited slavery. Like it was about white supremacy and maintaining a lifestyle where the average white people in the South who didn't own slaves could still look down on black people and still treat them however they wanted. And the rich people could literally get free labor. That is why it happened, because of white supremacy and capitalism. But all you have to say is slavery, just like Donald Trump. All you have to say is slavery. And Nikki Haley couldn't do that.
No.
And she went on SNL to try to, rehabilitate that image, which, by the way, SNL, stop inviting politicians onto SNL.
Oh my God.
I don't care if they're left or right. I'm not saying take politics out of my comedy. I'm just saying that almost none of them are good at improv comedy or sketch comedy.
They're all bad.
And
just make fun of them.
And B, you look like you're fucking catering to either fascists to one side, and they're right, they are fascists, or you look like you're catering to the East Coast and West Coast adrenochrome pedophiles. So no one's happy with you that you had Nikki Haley on. Like no one liked that you had Donald Trump as a host. Like no one wants to see Elizabeth Warren make jokes. Like I only libs love that shit.
No.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's super annoying. It's not good. It didn't work.
Stop it, Lorne Michaels.
Yeah, Lauren, come on. You're better than this. Maybe.
on,
I don't know. Go back to the days when you tried to pay the Beatles $1 to come on your
I'm sure
show.
he's a fun guy to hang
Yeah,
out
no,
with.
I'm sure. Yeah, go back to the
Being a
days when you
producer
tried to
in
pay
New
the
York
Beatles
is-
$1 to be on the show. Like that was funny. But he tried to undercut
that is
everybody, and George Harrison showed up. But and apparently the Beatles saw it. They were together at the same time and almost considered it for like 10 minutes, and then they were like, "No, we can't do this." But so all right, now aside from what I'd much rather talk about, the Beatles, let's go into talk about how Nikki Haley's a homophobe.
We are really trying to not talk about Nikki Haley,
Yeah.
which is funny.
Like I just don't care. She doesn't think trans girls belong in sports. Big fucking surprise, you stupid asshole. All right, what else you got? She blames trans girls for the rising side of self-harm rates. No, okay, just dumb. You're dumb. All right. She doesn't think that the Don't Say Gay bill is harsh enough. Okay. Jesus. What? Fuck you, Nikki. All right. She doesn't believe in gender affirming care for minors. Shut up, Nikki. You probably don't even know what gender affirming care is. She has
Republican against science and the medical community. Who would have guessed?
Yeah. She had a homophobic pastor open at her first campaign rally. This is on Yahoo News. This is a listicle, as we like to call them. Everybody likes to. I'm not doing Trump's voice. That's your thing. No, it's linked in the description. But yeah, big fucking surprise. She upheld the gay marriage ban when she was governor. Good for you, Nikki. And that's all I have on her homophobia. So yeah, like Nikki Haley is a straight up. She's not a fan of the LGBTQ plus community, man, or any real community. Like aside from her own, like claims this isn't a racist country, yet changed her name to sound more white. Like as we've mentioned many times on this show, like again,
That
said
would
that
imply
slavery.
that she thought that she would be treated differently because
my
of
God.
her name
Yeah.
being not sounding white and American.
I think she
Which
has
would-
come
Which
around.
seemed to apply to me that racism exists.
Yeah, I think she
At
has
least in the
apparently
Republican Party.
has said that. Oh yeah, it is a bit of a like she's kind of backpedaled on that or something, but it doesn't matter. Like you
But
know
all
that
those
that's what you
comments
were
just made
fucking
her-
saying.
Showed her like Trump would never have backed down. He has
No.
said ridiculous shit. And I'm not
Oranges
saying that's
instead
the
of
right way to
orangin.
do it. I'm just saying that how is
say
she
it.
supposed to fight that? Like she's fighting once again. The Republicans are fighting a forest fire with a super soaker.
Yeah,
And that was our complaint about Biden too. Like
yeah,
you got to return fire in equal measure, right?
yeah.
If in politics, that's how it works. Like if we all stay clean and we all agree not to mudsling and we have nice debates, like then I'm fine with doing that. But if your opponent is going to stoop down to a lower level, as long as it's not illegal, you should stoop with them. I don't believe in Michelle Obama's, well, they go low, we go high.
No.
Don't believe that.
Didn't work.
I think that we should
Didn't
use
work.
every dirty trick in the book
Yeah.
that we can that's not illegal and truly
Yeah.
immoral.
Like
So I want to pack the court.
offer a Supreme
I
Court
wanna-
justice an RV and a couple $1 million a year for the rest of
Yeah.
his life. That's
Yeah.
thanks, John Oliver.
Fine
Hope
with
you
me.
don't go to jail for that because I think
Yeah,
it was illegal.
But the point is that those kind of stunts, like if they work, they work, and I would be willing to do them too. Like
Mhm.
and mail-in ballots aren't a stunt, but that's something I think we should be pushing everywhere because it gets more people to vote,
Well,
which
it's
means
that-
Democrats win. It is an advantage. But here's the truth: people should be able to just mail in their ballot.
Yeah.
Also.
Well, it also was a thing. It wasn't until Trump with the mail-in ballots thing until that was a negative because Republicans use mail-in ballots. Everybody needs a mail-in ballot, and they are secure. Like they've been famously secure. You cannot. I don't understand why he went so hard against those when he could have patriotized them. And same thing with masks too. That's a whole nother subject. He could have patriotized masks, but and all Republicans were like, "Oh, that's hurting us." And because of his lack of mail-in ballots and saying don't use mail-in ballots, that hurt them in the 2020 election. They could have
Which is one of the reasons
reasonably
I'm scared
won.
about this upcoming one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
Like there's not going to be mail-in ballot as near as much because there's no COVID. Like,
Yeah.
that worries me.
But see, the thing is, the Democrats do use mail-in ballots, and they will jump through those hoops. When Trump is saying to Republicans, "Don't use mail-in ballots," they still remember them as being the evil thing, so they may still not use mail-in ballots. Like it fucked them over in 2020 and 2022. Like so, unless we've opened mail-in ballots again, like they could have won. They really could have won, like if they had used mailin
Yeah, but he
ballots.
discouraged his own voters
Yeah.
from actually sending in
So-
early votes. Yeah.
So the wwonderful subject for the Nikki Haley episode, talking mail-in ballots. Welcome to the mail-in ballots episode
but that's what I mean.
Nikki
It's
Haley.
She's so irrelevant. She's so classic Bush era Republican. Her whole biggest achievement was being UN ambassador, where all she did was suck up to Trump and alienate us from international relations. Like she constantly can't even say basic lines that you need to say to be a senator, let alone president, when it comes to like talking points. Like
she gives me very big Pokemon
chance.
Go.
This was a waste of time. We all knew it was going to be. We all knew it was going to be Donald Trump. I did want a more vigorous Democratic primary. It didn't happen. I'm moving on and getting ready for the general. Yeah. Because the fact is it was always going to be Trump. Nikki Haley wasted our time because she wanted to see if Trump would go to prison or die before she had to drop out, and she had back her money. And billionaires can buy our elections. They can just spend millions of dollars on a random candidate through a super PAC and keep them afloat with ads and signs and workers that aren't officially working for the candidate. Yeah. So, I mean, like, all Nikki Haley is yet another empty suit example of that. Even when Republicans can't put up something as horrible as Donald Trump, they put up somebody who is just owned by corporations and is willing to suck up to someone like Donald Trump, and certainly not willing to fight them, even to win their own nomination for their party. Yeah.
And that's the end of the episode. We told you it was going to be short. There is no point of talking about this woman. She's fully, like Andrew said, irrelevant. And you know what? I'll say this. If Donnie dies, all right, we'll come back and do another actual episode on her. And she did
do one thing.
Oh, what?
She was the first woman to win a Republican primary state.
Oh yeah. Wait, the first Sarah Palin didn't? No, she never ran for president.
Run for president. She was
really
she was picked.
She won Vermont, but okay, she won Vermont because
she won DC.
Democrats can vote in Republican primaries in Vermont. I am no way convinced that she actually won that.
DC. There was like 2,800 votes total in the Republican primary in DC, in a city of,
it's 700,000 people. Reasonably should be a state.
Upwards of 1 million people.
Yeah, like, more than Wisconsin or Wyoming.
Yeah, and there was like 2,800 votes, and she won like 1,600 of them.
Wow.
Because even Republicans in DC are like to Donald Trump, because they're actually just bought out liberals.
Yeah,
but.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They're liberals that the oil companies own.
Sure, yeah, and that's what I'm saying about Vermont too. That those were all just Democrats that voted in the Republican primary. So she's irrelevant. She's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Like,
congratulations for being the first woman. That's great.
Yeah,
girl boss power. Girl boss Nikki Haley. But other than that, just a completely waste of.
The Democrats have nominated multiple women before, and have had women win. So we beat you to that.
Yeah, Clinton literally won the primary.
Won the primary. Elizabeth Warren won primaries. There was that woman who got nominated, or was, oh no, she just ran in the 70s. Right? I don't remember her name. We should remember her name. It is Women's Month, but I'm not going to do that right now because Nikki Haley has taken up way too much of my time for an episode that amounted to what I'm going to guess is going to be 15 minutes long. So thanks for listening, watching, wherever you're doing, however you listen to this show. Subscribe on America the Podcast Presents or your favorite podcast app. This one is on its own podcast feed. Listen to America the Conversation. America the Podcast is back again. And I think as of this episode, maybe if it's out, I Do Not Trust This Person. The Weird Lives of Ron and Casey DeSantis is out now as well. Alana and I are covering 4 episodes of Ron, how weird he is, how he's kind of a jerk, how Casey's the truth behind the power, and how Ron will never be president. So we'll listen to that, and then we'll do more this summer. And that's it.
That's a lot of calories, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Gotta get my pudding with my fingers.
Oh, yeah. Ron is gross, and we go into his pudding fingers probably more detail than I wanted to. Alana kept going.
That sounds like
we start describing how things are gross. Pudding fingers, gross. All right, that's it. Okay, this isn't about Nikki Haley anymore. She's so irrelevant. She's so boring.
Song of the year to X us out as well. We're looking into it.
All right,
with the greatest song of the year.
Yeah, the greatest song of the year. Nikki, we need you right now. As heard on Colbert. Bye.
We need you, Nikki, right now to lead our nation. We need you, Nikki, no doubt. Lead the conversation.
They're not sending their best. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us.
You've been listening to They're Not Sending Their Best with hosts Andrew Turner and Tim Phillippe. Any news sources mentioned in this episode are listed in the show notes. The theme song for They're Not Sending Their Best is Circus by Music for Videos and was procured through Pixabay before the final version was cobbled together by Timmy Two Step using the terrible words of Donald J. Trump. They're Not Sending Their Best is mixed and edited by Tim Phillippe at Shway Media Studios in Austin, Texas. The show was created by Andrew Turner and Tim Phillippe and is a production of Shway Media and America the Podcast Presents. For more information, please visit shwaymedia.com and americathepodcast.com. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved.
This has been a production of Shway Media, all rights reserved. For more information, please visit shwaymedia.com.